UFC 311 is this weekend, and the main event, Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan, is one of the more anticipated fights for me going into this year. High-level fight. Two of the most skilled guys in the sport. Pound for pound number one, Islam Makhachev, and the man that almost beat him on short notice several years ago in his UFC debut, Arman Tsarukyan. They meet again at UFC 311 at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, California. It is officially staying in Los Angeles. The fires in LA did give it a little bit of a reason to worry, thinking that, they were going to have to move it to Vegas, to T-Mobile or something like that. But it was announced by Intuit Dome that everything will be back to normal in terms of their activities at the arena on Monday, January 13th. UFC 311 is scheduled for Saturday, the 18th. So everything's going to be fine in terms of this event. Obviously, there's a lot bigger picture with the destruction and all of that in Los Angeles. But in terms of UFC 311, it's still going to happen in Los Angeles. Stick around for my breakdown and prediction. I'm Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. All right, guys, so before we get into the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment down below, all that good YouTube stuff. It really helps me out a lot. If you want access to bonus content such as members-only live streams and all of that good stuff, become a channel member via the link below this video or the join button on our channel homepage. Thank you very much. Back to the video. Okay, so Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan 2, the UFC 311 main event. Now, they fought several years ago, and both of them have been on tears since. Now, let's take a look at the stats and the breakdown of the total strikes and everything from their first fight back in 2019. So you can see right here, UFC Fight Night, Overeem versus Oleinik. Islam Makhachev won by unanimous decision, and in that fight, he was 70% of his significant strikes landed. He landed 14 of 20. Arman landed 13 of 43. Total strikes were in Arman's favor, 4 of 9 for takedowns on Islam with 6 minutes of control time, and 1 for 12 on takedowns by Arman Tsarukyan. And then on the significant strikes, you see right here, and then we also have the per round damage done here. Now, all three judges scored this to Islam Makhachev, 2 of them 30-27, and 1 of them 29-28. The story of this fight is that Islam Makhachev is having to go up against a guy that nearly beat him in a razor-thin fight in 2019 as a 22-year-old Arman Tsarukyan in his UFC debut on short notice. A lot of people are giving Arman a lot of credit. I see a lot of creators saying that Arman Tsarukyan is going to get the win here, and I understand why. Especially, Arman Tsarukyan was the first person to take down Islam Makhachev in the UFC. But this, I can't play it the whole way through, but this is how it happened right here. The takedown that was completed for Arman Tsarukyan. And I understand why people are so pumped on Arman Tsarukyan, especially coming off of a win over Charles Oliveira. However, I don't think that Arman Tsarukyan has improved enough to overcome Islam Makhachev. In my opinion, this was not that close of a fight. Everyone's saying, yeah, he pushed Islam to the edge. Islam almost didn't win this fight. I even see some people saying it was a split decision, which is just not true. Or Arman could have won that fight. The judges just wanted Islam to win. All types of crazy shit. But Islam Makhachev is the best fighter in the world right now. Let's take a look at their recent resumes. Okay, Arman Tsarukyan, the challenger, 28 years old. He's 22-3. Since his loss to Islam Makhachev, he beat OAM, who ended up becoming a PFL champion, Davi Ramos, Matt Frivola, Christos Giagos, Joel Alvarez. Went on a 5-fight win streak. Very impressive. 5-1 in the UFC. Loses a very close fight to Matus Gamrot that some people think he won. And since then, he fought Damir Ismagulov, Joaquim Silva, Beneil Dariush, and Charles Oliveira. Now, those are good wins. Damir Ismagulov, not in the UFC anymore. Joaquim Silva, unranked. He actually did hurt Arman at one point in the fight, too. Beneil Dariush, minute in, I think he hit a knee to a punch, it was like a knee to a cross, which just put Beneil Dariush out cold, and then he beat Charles Oliveira by split decision. I thought he beat Oliveira pretty candidly, although there was some scary moments like the guillotine and the Dars and stuff like that, but I still thought Arman clearly won that fight at UFC 300. When we compare that to the level of competition that Islam has fought, we have Islam right here at 26-1, one loss ever, and here's his recent fights. Dustin Poirier, probably fight of the year. My opinion, fight of the year for 2025 or for 2024. Volk twice. Oliveira. Bobby Green first round finish. Dan Hooker first round finish. Thiago Moises finish. Drew Dober finish. Davi Ramos decision. Arman Tsarukyan. So that's going back to the Arman Tsarukyan fight in 2019. But when we compare when we compare recently, these are hard ass fights. Drew Dober submitted. Thiago Moises, super underrated, submitted. Dan Hooker, first round sub. Bobby Green, first round finish. Smoked Oliveira. Beat Volkanovski. KO'd Volkanovski, submitted Dustin Poirier. Volk is the only one that has really made it close with Islam, and he ended up KOing him in the second fight. On the other hand, the level of competition, I'm not trying to knock these guys that Arman Tsarukyan has beat, but Ismagulov, Silva, and even Dariush are not anywhere. And Beneil Dariush is ranked highly, and he's fighting Moicano on this card. But I think he's way over the hill. So I have Tsarukyan basically split decision win over Charles Oliveira, which he won, but he was in trouble. Islam, finish, decision over the pound-for-pound number one guy at the time. Finish. I don't think that Arman Tsarukyan has made enough progress to come and beat Islam Makhachev. Personally, I think that it's going to be a very high-paced first round with Arman Tsarukyan trying to take down Islam Makhachev in the first round. But I think Islam Makhachev is maybe going to let the first round get away due to Arman being really, really aggressive in the first round with his takedowns. Arman might try to land some head kick or something like that. He has okay striking, but Islam is just so well-rounded. I think Islam is going to win. I could see him getting a sub, but I think realistically we're going to get like a 48-47 decision win for Islam Makhachev, where Islam Makhachev drops the first round, and then like mid-second round, the tide starts to swing Islam's way. And so for the rest of the second and 3, 4, and 5, Islam Makhachev is in full control. And if he doesn't get that sub, I think he's going to be in control until the end of the fight. And Islam's one of those guys, like he finished Dustin in the fight of the year with 3 minutes into the 5th round. So Islam's dangerous for a full 25 minutes. I don't know if Arman is. I know Arman is dangerous early, and he can fight 5-round fights with high-level grappling exchanges, but is he as lethal later in the fight? We'll have to see, but my prediction is Islam Makhachev, and still via decision, and then he's going to move up to 170. That's my prediction. So let me know your thoughts down below on the UFC 311 main event. Who wins? Thanks for watching this video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. It really helps me out a lot. If you want access to bonus content, become a channel member today by clicking the join button on our channel homepage or the link down below this video. If you're interested in some non-MMA content from me, go check out my podcast, What's Up Bro, with Wyatt and Bo, in the link down below. Go watch this suggested video, and I'll see you next time.